Hi guys, my name is Jeff and welcome back to another episode of Wedding Tip. I may not know everything, but I will share with you to the best of my knowledge. So, for the first two episodes, I've talked about the venue, ROM, bridal, makeup artist, and pre-wedding photography. In this episode, I'll be focusing more on the actual day photography and videography. This is also another big ticket other than the venue and the bridal. Sometimes, a bridal package do comes with an actual day photography or even videography. But do take note that a bridal can work with multiple photographers at the same time, and that is how they can do more than 1 to 2 weddings per day. If you think they only do 2 weddings per week, they'll be long gone from the industry. So they may show you their extremely nice photography portfolio, but you will never know who the photographer was. It could be their best photographer who has shot it, but he may be booked on your wedding day. Hence, you might be getting another photographer who is currently freelancing for the bridal. And based on the past news, some of these photographers are way underpaid or lacking experience for the job. I'm not saying all of them are or someone that I know is. I'm just referencing from the past news. The pros of it is, of course, sometimes it is cheaper than finding the photographer from the photography company. So unless I know who is the photographer, I will most likely get my own photographer instead, even if I have to pay more. You can always reshoot your pre-wedding, but actually it's only once a lifetime, so I will be more cautious about that. As many of you are not photographers or videographers, you may have problems looking for one, especially a good and reliable one. So same as any other vendors, I will recommend you to start looking from Google. This way, your social media will be filled with wedding photography advertisement. As I mentioned before, you can always Google the top 10 wedding photographers in Singapore, but do take them with a pinch of salt as a reference only, because you may not know if these articles are actually sponsored posts. There are also a few places where you can find photographers such as Clubsnap forums. Majority of the photographers do post and sell their services in it. You may also be able to find a lot of them in Carousel. Just type wedding photography or freelance photography and you will see a bunch of it. One thing I like about people using their name as their photography business name, such as Ken Photography or Chris Photography, is that these people often take pride in their own work and hence they may put in more effort. You also know that the work is produced by the actual person itself. After all this, I think the more you see, the more you will know which is your preferred style. Some may use a lot of flash, which means your photo will always be in good lighting. But it may also take away the natural look. Some call themselves the natural light photographer, but in actual fact, some of them may not know how to properly use a flash. The outcome can be pretty good and natural, but it will not be as good if your wedding is at night and in the outdoor setting. Both has its pros and cons, so it is always best to balance between the two. Personally for me, I like to view a series of photos from the same projects rather than just the nicest one the photographers had posted online. This gives me a better idea of the photographer's skills instead. You should always check with your photographers what is included in the package, such as the number of photographers, usually one, and that is most likely enough for the wedding in Singapore. The number of hours for full day is usually around 8 to 10 hours. How many edited soft copy are included? Is it unlimited? Are there any prints such as 4R, tabletop, or photo album? How is it delivered? Is it via online transfer or is it saved in a time drive? For payment wise, do check with your photographer how much deposit is needed, when do you have to pay the remaining amount. Are there any additional early hour charges, meaning if you want the photography to start before 7 AM in the morning? Are there any split day fee, meaning you have a wedding ceremony in the morning and a night banquet and you wanted to split the photography services, like let's say 6 hours in the morning and 4 hours at night, or 5 hours on Saturday and 5 hours on Sunday? What is the extra hourly charges if you need to extend the service? And if you need someone to do a childhood montage, you can also check with your photographer to see if he or she can do it for you and how much is it? How long is the deliverable? Is it 2 weeks, 4 weeks or 8 weeks? Some photographers also provide SDE, which also means same day edit. They will usually edit a few nicest photos in the morning and make them into a video montage that can be played during your banquet at night. This may come with a fee, so unless you really want it, you can request it and see if your photographer is able to do that for you. Next will be the wedding videography. Videography is slightly easier to understand. Most videography packages comes with one videographer. Only a handful of them comes with 2 videographers. One video highlight or SDE, which is same day edit, roughly around 3 to 8 minutes long. One full edited video, and I must say this depending on the company itself. Some call it a full day highlight, which means it is the same as highlight video but slightly longer, as it now includes the night banquet, which makes the video roughly around 5 to 15 minutes long. Some is called morning video and night video. So instead of having one full video, you'll receive one morning cut and one night video. Some will be slightly longer as they may include the whole ROM or gate crash process, and that makes the video around 15 to 30 minutes long. And lastly, some may include the whole process of the gate crash and the ROM, and also the speech and other ceremony happen during your actual day, which makes the video roughly around 30 to 120 minutes long. So the difference between 1 and 2 videographers is that usually one videographer means that he or she will focus on the video highlight, and 2 videographer means that the second videographer will focus more on the full edited video. Having more videographers means that there will be more angles in your video, but it also comes with a cost. Usually, one videographer can capture about 98% of the video highlight, and the second videographer is there to enhance the video and capture the rest of the 2% for the highlight video. However, if you're very particular about the full edited video, you should always find a company that provides 2 videographers, as the second videographer usually covers more than 50% of the full day coverage. So it is like one cover the artistic side while the other cover the documentary side. Another thing to take note is that know the difference between videography and cinematography. I realize many people, including the videographers, do not really understand or know the difference between these two. So don't just trust the word wedding cinematography online. While videography is more focused on capturing the events as they unfold, cinematography is more concerned with creating a visual story that conveys a message or emotions. Cinematographers often have a deeper understanding of the technical aspect of camera operations, lighting, composition, and a way of editing style. Many wedding videos companies name their package cinematography and call themselves cinematographers, but the video that they produced are mostly just following through the event as they unfold, which makes it totally videography. In layman terms, it's more like a documentary style. It goes from morning makeup, gate crash, and tea ceremony, and the mood of the video is usually happy and upbeat. I'm not saying that this is a bad or a good video. I'm just saying that this is more likely to be a videography than a cinematography. Cinematography is slightly different. They don't usually follow the flow of event, but they somehow pitch it together nicely like a music video. Cinematographers are also very good in directing the couples and guiding them during the shoot. They are also very good in their camera movement. There is no right or wrong in choosing videography or cinematography style, as this is really depend on your preference. Whether do you prefer to have a fun and enjoyable wedding video or very slow storytelling and romantic style of wedding video. For payment wise, do check with your videographer how much deposit is needed, when do you pay the remaining amount, are there any additional early hour charges, are there any split day fee, what is the extra hourly charges if you need to extend the service, is there any additional charges to have the same day edit, how long is the deliverable, is it 2 weeks, 4 weeks or 8 weeks. So if you opt for SDE, do give your videographer some time to edit, as some companies require 2 to 3 hours for the luncheon banquet and 5 to 6 hours for the dinner banquet. Usually this will require at least 2 videographers. So while one was shooting, the other videographer will be doing his speed editing. But do bear this in mind, this comes with a risk. There may be a chance that your videographer might not be able to finish editing during the showcase timing. Things happen. It can be computer breakdown, losing your files, videographer not feeling well, or even software crashes. It usually won't happen, but nothing is guaranteed, especially in such a short period of time. So please, if this happens, don't blame your videographer. Just be mentally prepared about it. Lastly, I want to advise all couples to provide food and transport for your makeup artists, photographers and videographers if they are following you throughout the day, as this is to minimize your chances of facing problems such as photographer getting stuck in a jam or going to the wrong location, especially during the wedding day. Every minute counts. They are working very hard for the whole day, so it is really very tiring. So a little kindness will definitely goes a long way, especially for banquet and buffet. Do invite your photographers and videographers to sit down and eat if there are extra spaces for them. Back when I was shooting, I often have to sit outside the banquet and eat bread with my team because it was dinner time and our work only ends at 11 or 12 midnight. So it can be quite depressing if they are seeing everyone else eating abalone and enjoying themselves while they are eating bread outside the ballroom. So I think that's all for today. I will talk more in the upcoming episode. If you like my video, do like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.